As the world transitions to everything electric, Elon Musk's Tesla and SpaceX are leading the way. Elon Musk, the world's richest man, has emerged as a visionary who will not give up until he achieves his goals. Whether it's introducing the world to new substantial electric car models, or delivering and developing resources to kickstart the Mars Colonization mission. But have you ever thought about how he pays for it? Or how he's going to get the massive amount of energy needed to keep these plans moving? Let's find out and watch the video. Hello guys, welcome to another exciting video from Futurism. In this video today, we give you some groundbreaking news about the world's richest man, Elon Musk, and why we think he might be secretly testing the new nuclear technology with SpaceX. But before we get into specifics, make sure to stick with us until the end. Elon Musk's big dream, as you probably know, is to establish a colony on Mars. You might be surprised to learn that colonizing Mars is a difficult task. To make things a little easier, SpaceX is working on a new rocket called the Starship that will be able to transport people to Mars. Unfortunately, even if SpaceX's Starship is used, the trip to Mars will take at least 7 months. The nuclear propulsion system for Starship is an idea that can significantly reduce journey time. Is it, however, even possible to construct a nuclear-powered Starship? What does Elon Musk have to say about it? Musk shared his vision for humanity in his press release. In history, he claims there are only two paths forward. One is that we evolve into a spacefaring civilization and colonize other planets such as Mars, while the other is that we never progress towards safe travel and lose humanity as a whole in a mass extinction event. With the rate of climate change increasing, an extinction level event does not appear to be far away. Already, global temperatures are rising and natural disasters are becoming more frequent and severe. So, in order to realize Musk's dream, SpaceX began developing starships that could transport humanity to the nearest planet, Mars. The problem is that despite the fact that Mars is close by, a one-way trip takes around 9 months. Furthermore, only 100 passengers can travel at a time. This means that establishing a long-term human settlement would take decades, not to mention the difficulties that come with space travel. One of these issues is solar radiation, which reduces the lifespan of those who are exposed to it and can also cause sterility, implying that a human settlement on Mars will never thrive. This timeline is unsustainable, and the only way to significantly shorten it is to use nuclear power. Nuclear power, on the other hand, is 400 times more powerful than traditional chemical power. To power these rockets, you'd need a lot less uranium than you'd need hydrazine. A shorter time period would mean less exposure to solar radiation, which would result in a healthier group of humans arriving on Mars. More importantly, it will take less time to travel to and from Mars, making it much easier to establish a sustainable and efficient community on the planet. According to rumors, SpaceX had begun developing a nuclear propulsion system. Musk has even stated that nuclear power would be far more efficient than the Raptor's traditional chemical power. You might be surprised to learn that nuclear power isn't the first time humanity has considered it. Humans have considered building a nuclear-powered spacecraft since the 1950s. In fact, the first nuclear-powered spacecraft was conceived in 1940 when naval engineer and science fiction writer Robert A. Heinlein wrote short stories about a spacecraft propelled by a nuclear explosion. Following World War II, Polish scientist Stanislaw Ulam and American physicist Frederick Rhines devised preliminary calculations outlining how the rocket would be powered by nuclear energy. Unfortunately, no one took these calculations seriously until the Orion project began 10 years later, in 1958. Ted Taylor of General Atomics and physicist Freeman Dyson, who had taken a year off from his studies at Princeton, led the actual project, which focused on developing a nuclear-powered spacecraft. The main concept behind the Orion was to create a spacecraft with a high thrust and high specific impulse of propellant efficiency. However, there were numerous energy requirements, which would be met by nuclear power. However, because it would be too dangerous to contain the blast inside the rocket, it was decided that the blast would be placed entirely outside the rocket. One might wonder why such drastic measures were taken. Because no other propulsion system could deliver the same amount of energy, it was chosen. Chemical rockets could deliver high thrust with low specific impulse, whereas batteries could only deliver low thrust. Unfortunately, Project Orion did not succeed. However, if the scientists had been successful in containing nuclear energy, the Orion would have been the most powerful rocket at the time. The project officially ended in 1963 when the Partial Test Ban Treaty was signed and no significant research was allowed in the field. Many scientists believe there were other issues with Project Orion, one of which was that constant nuclear explosions would erode the outer layer of the rocket, making people inside extremely dangerous. Moreover, the threat of nuclear fallout was always present. So do you think we'll be able to see another Project Orion in the not too distant future? The chances of that happening are growing by the day. Since the 1960s, technology had advanced at an exponential rate. Using nuclear energy is no longer as controversial as it once was. SpaceX, if anyone is going to do it, will be the one to do it. Musk is known for embracing innovation and implementing efficiency-enhancing technologies. There are currently two ways to approach a nuclear-powered Starship, according to scientists. Nuclear thermal propulsion is one of them. The rocket will be fitted with a nuclear reactor similar to those found in nuclear-powered submarines in this method. This reactor will operate normally, with the heat generated by its reactions being used to heat a gas, such as hydrogen. The heated gas will be pushed through a nozzle at the end of the rocket, providing it with enough energy to propel it forward. The efficiency of this method is twice that of traditional chemical approaches. Consider a car with a nuclear reactor as its engine, to get a sense of the type of energy we're talking about. This car would be able to accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in a quarter of a second. Though a car would survive the process, the amount of energy released is enormous. In essence, the travel time will be reduced by 25%. Nuclear electric propulsion is the second option. This method is based on the nuclear fission method of generating electricity. Yes, by breaking down nuclear particles and then utilizing the energy generated by atom splitting. The rocket would then be powered by the electricity generated. This method is 3 times as effective as the one previously mentioned. There will be no need for solar energy, and the thrust generated by the rocket will be significant. The amount of energy produced would be so great that travel time would be cut in half. That means that if you arrive in 9 months, it will now take you 3 to 4 months to get to your destination. The thing about SpaceX rockets is that aside from the ostensible development of the new powerful engines, safety and reusability are priorities for the company. They're working on shielding panels to protect passengers from solar radiation. For example, their rockets are being designed to be reusable multiple times. The development of new, lighter fuselage and fuel is another step in the right direction. Nuclear power will allegedly be used only in space until the rocket clears the Earth's atmosphere. Traditional chemical rockets will be used, after which the nuclear mechanism will take over. In our opinion, and based on what Musk has done in the last few years, there's a good chance you'll hear about a nuclear propulsion system in the not too distant future. If you're looking for more specific answers, we think Elon Musk will go with nuclear electric propulsion. When it comes to nuclear energy, there are obviously some difficulties. Musk, on the other hand, does not appear to be a man who shies away from a challenge. That concludes today's video. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel Futurism for more videos like this one. I'll see you in the next one.